It's about that time. You're rocking with your boy Damo Unleash and Sky Black on the Nashville Caveman Podcast. Stay tuned.
Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. I gotta turn up this function, like I'm in the Lotus and punch it. All I'm gonna ask is stay in your lane and you won't be food for my luncheon. I'm coming up out of the dungeon, cooking up plans to make something from nothing. And since I secured the bag, it's time to do math, so I'ma keep hustling. I thought I had lost my way or something. I am not feeling what they say is busting. They keep us trapping this way, disgusting. If you so happen to catch me flexing, I could be killing the straps for days. But learning how to install some chromic crystals on the Escalade. Matching the arm that's on my sternum. I am for the sake of the people. Grabbing my Glock and pray to the Lord, cause not everybody tryna be peaceful. I still hope we set the stage for showing them how it's supposed to be. So those that's close to me won't have to ask, hey, what you got in that bag? Hey, just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Let me explain what I'm talking about. Had a joint called down about it. Letting these loud mouths know how to move without sound. Best if we don't even shout out. Midwest, east, west, down south. Till we get even or even above. Till then we gon' opt out. And educate on the backside. Folk that I act right and they won't backslide. Just put it together no matter the weather, my fella. So hey, if you dealing with vices in you and it's cutting you up like against you, put it on chill for real, or they gon' just use it against you. What you got in that bag? Quiet water.
Man, what is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Podcast. Man, did you just hear the news that just happened?
What happened?
Mike Tyson, man, you know what I'm saying? They said he broke both his legs.
Doing what?
Scuba diving.
Scuba diving?
Yeah.
How do you break your leg scuba diving?
No, I'm just kidding. This April Fools, I had to get I had to get you, man. What's going on? I ain't got nobody today, so Sky, you the first person I got today, man.
Well, thank you. I'm always gullible for something, trust me. I don't keep up with
they get me too.
Popular news like that. I don't keep up with it, so I'm always gullible about something. How you doing?
Man, it is so crazy how we are already already a quarter into the year, dude.
Man,
that is nuts.
In 14 days taxes will be due?
Oh, I got to do them too. I ain't even did them.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start sometime this week, Sunday maybe.
You know, probably good morning on the weekend. I don't be in a rush to get them people my money just for them to, you know, put it on some gay Sesame Street in Iran or some crazy stuff. What they gonna do with our money? Yeah,
absolutely.
You know. So, how was your week, man? You have a good week?
Yeah, I had a good week. I went down to Corning in Arkansas and for Inhumane Championship Wrestling. I teamed with a guy named McVicious, me and him versus Danny Ice and Crusher Colo. You know, went down there, had the match, got a chance to hang out with some of the Arkansas people down there and seen a really good women's match. It was like Cassandra, I forgot what her last name is, against Shauna Reed and Mercy, and they put on a really good match. So if y'all go on my page on Facebook, just go to Facebook and type in Sky Black and you'll see a really good it was a three-way women's match. So, and then this Saturday coming up, April 5th, Top Rope, Lebanon, Tennessee. So everybody's in the middle Tennessee area. Want to see Sky Black in the ring, Top Rope Wrestling, 945 East Bador Parkway, Lebanon, Tennessee, 37087, the Wilson County Fairgrounds. In the new building, we have a new building, not the B building, but the building behind the B building is where they'll be.
Man, you know what? I need to actually go ahead and start off the show, man. Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Podcast Show. I am one half of your host, Damo Unleash, and I'm going to go ahead and roll out the red carpet for a good friend of mine that I consider like a brother. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. So like I just said, I'm a pro wrestler. Last weekend I was in Arkansas. This weekend I will be in Lebanon, Tennessee, April 12th. We'll be at RCW in Illinois, and April 26th, I'll be in Huntington. So those are my wrestling schedules. But for those of you tonight that's been waiting on me to do the new music, we now have the new music. It's all set up from Lollybox to J-Rev to Show Daddy to Launchpad and many, many more. Tonight is all the music you will hear is nothing but new music on the D-Bling radio show. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and replay from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. All new music. Actually, the radio station is on now. So it's already automatically set for 7 o'clock. Tune in, offtopradio.com. That is offtopradio.com. Tune in and listen to nothing but good music. You get to rate it, you get to comment, you get to share, you get to do all those things. And you get to help support local artists because now local artists have their own radio station and radio show just for them. So, yeah, and if you are listening and you are an artist or you know somebody that's an up-and-coming artist, tell them to send me the music at skyblack@gmail.com. That is skyblack@gmail.com. And let me get it in rotation for you and let's get your career jumping and started.
Nice, man. Some good news on my end, bro.
Okay, what's going on?
Real good news. Guess what the good news is?
Something about your job?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Weekends off.
I'm about to have the weekends off, man.
Congratulations.
Oh, man, thank you. So this Saturday and Sunday, it will be the first time I've had a weekend off in 2.5 years. But so man. But I'm like,
I was gonna say, you know what? The older I've gotten, every day is the same to me. I remember when I was younger, I had to have the weekend. I had to have Friday, Saturday, or Sunday off. You know what I'm saying? But that just is shit. I don't care if I got a Tuesday or Wednesday off. Every day looks the same to me now.
Yeah, but the good thing about it is, see, when y'all have these matches now, I'll be able to come down.
Yes, come on down.
Yeah,
please do. Especially the one in Lebanon. Yeah. Come down. Because I did introduce you to the owner that time you came, right? Bobby?
Oh, man, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I had a good time down in it, and that was the only one I went to was when y'all had at the fairgrounds in Lebanon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I had a great time. It's been hard to even go to them because the schedule I work from 5 to 1. Yeah. You work 5 to 1, man. You ain't really doing nothing on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Absolutely.
So I got Saturday off. I got my Sunday off. I'm like, I'll take it.
Right.
It give me options to do a couple things. So I was excited, man.
Well, you've earned it. So, enjoy it.
Oh, I am, man. I can't wait. I'm on a 9-day stretch right now, or in the middle of one. I think I'm on day 6. Today will be day 6, maybe day 5. Because I got today Tuesday, so I got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, day 6 really. You might as well say day 6 of a 9-day stretch. So I just can't wait to get it over with, man.
It will.
Get to the week.
You'll blink and it'll be over with. Trust me. Time is moving in.
I know.
It's April 1st.
My old days feel like that now, Scott.
Yeah, it's April 1st. That's crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
Absolutely. 2025.
And y'all?
25 years ago, I was worried about Y2K. And here I am, 25 years later. And it's sad to say that that's a quarter of a century, 25 years. Where did the time go?
And later this year, I'll be half a century.
Really? Oh, man. Well, congratulations on it, because that's a blessing. Because think of all the people who was born the year you were born that's gone, that didn't make it.
Or the people after the year I was born that's gone, Matter of fact, I just had a cousin pass maybe 2.5 weeks ago, 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got to take, man, you can't take life for granted. You can have it 1 minute, and the next minute, it's gone.
And that's the stuff we try to talk about on the CEO Cartel. Is like, man, get your life insurance together, get your IUL together, get your power of attorneys together, your health power, because you need somebody. If you get to a point where you're almost a vegetable state, you need somebody to make those decisions for you. And even though you laying in the bed and can't talk, can't move, bills still come. You need somebody to pay your bills. But once you die, it's over. But I'm just saying, while you still in that medium state, you got to do all that. And now, take care of it. That's all I think about every day. Is now taking care of that stuff.
Right, man. And so, and like we always say when we end the show, man, the only thing guaranteed in life is death. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You wake up on this half of the ground and you go to sleep on this side of the ground, you done won the day. You conquered the day. And that's all that matters.
Absolutely. That is so true. So y'all pray that every day. That's why I'm so glad for every Tuesday that we get to do this. Because next Tuesday ain't promised, you know?
Yep. Speaking of, man, we got some good stuff on our itinerary today. It's gonna get
did we talk about that last week about the them trying to enforce, at least in Tennessee, a paternity test? We didn't talk about that.
We spoke up into it. You introduced it to me, but then we didn't really get a chance to really get into it. So we saved it for this week.
Okay, I know you sent me a video that did more explaining than the video I sent to you. I was like, man, got you. Okay.
Yeah, so we said we're going to play that video today. We're going to deep dive into that. We're going to talk about, are most women selfish? I think you watched this video and you liked it, and it was pretty good, interesting what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. Men don't marry looks, we marry behavior, which is so true. Then we're going to talk about what we were just talking about, new paternity fraud law in Tennessee. It's about a year, and I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
So when you sent me that, and then I start, researching, I'm like, oh, damn, this has been in effect for a whole year. Mm-hmm. So I really can't wait to talk about that.
Absolutely.
I have 12 children by 8 men, and I'm struggling. Men give access to marriage, but women give access to sex. And the importance of that, right? The importance of that, because I want to get into why, men giving access to marriage, being accountable for that, and women giving access to sex, being accountable for that. Right. So we wanted to drive into that. And then, did you see the Marvin Sapp video?
Absolutely.
They is upset at Marvin, man. I don't think it's that deep.
One lady who tried to defend him was like, hey, y'all give Rick Ross enough money for him to buy a jet. Why don't you give your pastor enough money for him to buy a jet? And I was thinking, I don't want neither one of them in a jet, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want these rappers in jets, and I don't want my pastor in a jet. I mean, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, so we definitely gotta sink our teeth into these subjects. And y'all know how we do, though. I want to just say this. If you're watching from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Bigo, if y'all can do us a huge favor, if y'all can share the live. Sharing the live will really help us grow our content. We appreciate you guys being here. Leave a comment, man. You know what I'm saying? Say something below. Let us know that y'all in the building, all right?
Absolutely.
As we always do before we get into our topics, we love the support in the art.
Correct.
So, y'all know, man, that's what we gonna do. Me and Sky gonna break for a minute, play an indie artist, and then we gonna come back, and then we gonna talk about a lot of this stuff, man, that we got on deck for y'all. So, just sit tight, man. We will be right back after these messages.
oh so sweet, attentively, tenderly to me. I want you to know that I love you. You love it when I take it there. Love it when you pull my hair. You love it when I take it slow and drop it down low. You're so I just want you to know how I feel inside. I want you to know how I feel about you. I want you to know that I need you. I want you to know that I feel you. You so sweet, oh so sweet, attentively and tenderly to me. I want you to know that I love you.
All right, y'all, that was Dominique J, man. Shout out to Dominique J and her cat, man, straight out of Memphis, Tennessee, man. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee, all the way from Nashville, man. We love y'all. Can't wait to go down there one day because I heard y'all food is really, really good, especially the soul food. So shout out to Memphis. Man, y'all ready? Hey, y'all ready for what we gonna dive into today? First on deck, let me go back to my notes, man. So, are women selfish? Right? So I found this video. I thought this dude had an interesting take on this, and I think he made some good points. But me and Sky, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play it. And then once we play this, me and Sky, we're gonna give our opinions on it, all right? So it's going down. Here we go. I don't know why they had it on mute, but all right.
Anything would you feel some type of way? What is a parasite? Somebody who takes and doesn't give. That's what most women are. And I would never, as a man.
I want this to play from the beginning. I don't know why they muted it. We want this unmuted.
Like she needs to take him out and pay for the meal. You just got me something today on my birthday. Tomorrow was your birthday, and I didn't get you anything. Would you feel some type of way? What is a parasite? Somebody who takes and doesn't give. That's what most women are, and they're okay with that. I would never, as a man, whether it's with a dude, whether it's with a woman, ever feel okay with them giving me more than I give back. Because I got character. I was raised like that. So why is it that women feel okay with a man taking them out to eat back to back without reciprocating?
That's what they done been programmed to do. They don't justify it.
So because of my program, I have no manners. Somebody does something for you, you're supposed to do something back. But because of my program, and I'm going to throw character out the window. I'm going to throw my morals out the window.
People use that as an excuse.
If it happened to the woman, they wouldn't be going for it. But they're accepting of doing it to somebody else. And I was just saying, man, women just have bad character. Because if I got to tell you, hey, I just took you out to eat 3-4 times, You wanted to go to this place this time, and I gotta tell you, you gonna pay. You didn't actually feel like, man, he been doing this for me. I want to pay. You got bad character because you're trying to take. Women don't have good character. I don't feel like a woman should even feel okay with a man doing a whole bunch wrong without them doing something back.
It's a lot of women that's just in it.
You know what I'm saying, right? It's being pushed by the men, but at the same time, that still doesn't negate the fact that women don't have good character if they being able to be influenced to have that character.
Exactly. They easily influence.
Most women.
All right.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to be on that because at the end of the day, everybody has their own thought process. So whether a woman is taught to be a woman in nowadays, when she gets 18 and she chooses to be selfish and promiscuous, she's going to be selfish and promiscuous. If a woman was raised up around a bunch of prostitutes and whores, and then when she turned 18, she decides to be a Christian woman and just be just as the nicest thing and help others, that's what she's going to be. So I don't believe in that being trained. How can I put it? I don't believe that all women are taught to just be selfish and take. I believe that at a certain point in their lives, they realize that this is what they're looking for. Like we had a conversation about a woman to tell you up front, can you afford them, right? Can you afford their lifestyle? If you tell me up front what you like and what you don't like, and I choose to accept it, I can't say that you are selfish and I can't complain because you told me up front that you like to go to Paris for lunch, Spain for dinner, you know what I'm saying? Italy for breakfast. So I don't know if I can agree with that argument that they're saying, and then I can't even agree to say that women are selfish. Women are just programmed to be caretakers, and men just by nature are programmed to be providers. So I couldn't see a woman saying most of the time, I'm going to pay for you dinner, I'm going to cut the grass, I'm going to do. I don't see it. So this argument, you could argue till you blue in the face, but I don't think there's a point that I would catch to be like, oh, he's right and she's right.
I kind of feel like, I kind of think, I ain't gonna say feel like, I kind of think that is the issue with relationships nowadays, right? Mm-hmm. Because, man, dating even 25, 30 years ago, there was, I know with me, I'll go out one time and pay maybe even 2 or 3 times in a row. And then at some point, she'll be like, well, let me take you out. You understand what I'm saying? Or there was something done to show appreciation.
Absolutely.
So maybe if I paid for all the dates, but there was, and there was an unspoken rule where there was, hey, let me show you that I appreciate what you did for me. So it'll either come by a home cooked meal.
That's it. There you go. Right.
Or something like that. I do think it is something to what he's saying. That, man, you got to be, I don't care, it ain't even about men, I can't even get out, women and men in a relationship. I think this is in general. If somebody do something for you, then the greatest thing you can do is to show them, the greatest way you can show them, hey, I appreciate what you did for me, is to go ahead and do something for them.
Right.
So you reciprocate the treatment that they gave you back to them.
Absolutely.
I think anybody letting somebody just do for them, especially when they got something, like some people don't, I'll give you an example. Like me and you hung out, we friends. If you paid all the time, I have to contribute something. So maybe I don't have the funds like you got the funds, right? But there's some way I got to figure out how I can make it up to you to show you, hey, I have the funds to do what you do, but I want to let you know, man, that I appreciate you doing this. So I may come by and wash your car. You know what I'm saying? I may come by and cut your grass. Hey, man, I'm going to cut your yard, man. Hey, I appreciate you covering me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I don't think people, I don't even think there's. I think for the most part, a lot of women are selfish because they'll let dudes. They'll let dudes do this and not have any. They won't reciprocate anything back to the dude.
Right.
And there's some dudes like that too, though.
Yep.
People do for them, and they won't. You know, they can figure out some way to make it even.
Right.
But they won't.
Some of it is characteristics, and some of it might be the product of their environment. But at the end of the day, when you become an adult and the law says 18, you technically adult, then you have to choose what type of person you got to be, right? I'm like you. If somebody does something a lot for me, I'm like, hold on. I don't just want to be one of those black people to bring that to the table. Let me pay this time. If you invite me over your house with Damo, what do you need me to bring? You need just whatever, right?
Right.
But on the other end, the biggest thing anybody can do for me is say thank you. Because the old folks told me, if you don't say thank you, it's like the deed was never done. So not only if they say thank you, when people do something for me, not only do I say thank you, hell, I might send a thank you letter. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And then if I do something for your child, depending on how old they are, if they don't say thank you, I blame you. I blame the parent. Now, of course, if your child's 5, 6, 7, I don't expect them to say thank you. They don't know that. But if I buy, let's say your child's 15 and I get them a PlayStation and they don't say thank you, I blame the parent because you didn't teach them to say thank you. I don't blame a 5-year-old for not saying thank you. So for me, even if nobody spends any money, takes me out, cuts my none of that. If you just say thank you, that is the biggest thing you could ever do for me. If I do something for your child and that boy or girl says thank you, that is the best thing you can do for me.
And I operate like this. I don't like people to hold things over my head. So just based on that, because a lot of people who are quote unquote givers let y'all fall out and watch how things you forgot, they will bring that stuff back up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've known people like that. So me personally, I like, man, I don't like for people to be able to hold things over my head. So yeah, it gotta be, man, okay, you do for me this time and you did for me that time. Okay, now I gotta pay up.
Right. And I understand because there are some people in this world that will do that. Oh, I did this for you and I'm a better friend than you. You ain't done nothing in this friendship. I do all this and do all that. And I tell them, hey, if you feel like that I'm that bad of a friend, walk away.
Right.
That's what I tell them.
You feel go like your way and I go mine.
Yeah, if you doing all the work and you claim I ain't doing nothing in this friendship, walk away. I mean, it ain't hurt my feelings. You look better going than you ever did coming. So
what they say, don't let the door hit you with a good look.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
That crack that God put in your ass look better going that way than it ever did coming this way. So that's what I tell folks, You're
right, man. This next one we're gonna talk about. Hold on, let me see. All right, men don't marry looks, we marry behavior.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna tell you, man, I think that's the one thing, the misperception or misconception that a lot of women have. Like they think because they confuse a dude having sexual interest in them with a dude that want to actually invest in. They want to pour into them. There's a big difference between the two, man. So and it's unfortunate that I don't think a lot of women understand that. They don't really get that. Dude hit on them and they're like, well, he ain't got no problem with this and this because he talked to me and it's like, yeah, but he talking to you is one thing, but what is he pouring into you? Because if all he pouring into you is semen, then he really ain't pouring into you.
Gotcha.
That's all he pouring into you. Then it ain't much.
But some of them don't have self-worth, Damo. They don't love themselves, so that's all they want. That's all they need. That's all they desire is just sex. They have no good conversation. They talk about nothing else but sex all the time. And when you have low self-esteem and you don't love yourself, All that if a dude wants to pour semen in them, they happier than a sissy in a whorehouse. That's
Yep.
all they want. That's it.
Not happier than a sissy in a whore.
Yeah.
Ah! All right, so here we go.
Need and providing that without and chase down blocks. How about the weeks out there?
Ain't nobody
Happen to prompt you are actually that's important. Not knowing your worth. I know my worth and I make a lot of money and I'm pretty. No, not at all. Being pretty don't even ensure that you will get a ring. Men don't marry looks. We have sex with looks. Men marry behavior.
Absolutely.
Your behavior determines whether you get the ring or not the looks. Halle Berry is beautiful. Kim Kardashian is beautiful to a lot of people. There's a slew of women that have the money and the fame, but they cannot keep. We marry behavior. So if you are not even proficient at the things that are intrinsically important to a man, you can't be high value because your money ain't intrinsically important to us. You being soft is. You anticipating what we need and providing that without us having to prompt you or ask you, that's important. Not knowing your worth.
I agree 100%, man. First of all, I'm a creature of habit anyway. So if you with a woman who sees what you don't see, you know, most women, you come out the house, they fix your tie. Hey, you need lotion on your elbows. You need to shave hair, straighten up. Your wife wants to make sure that you are the best version of you before you walk out of the house. I have never dated on looks. First of all, can you hold a good conversation? That's the first thing. Can you talk about something other than going to the club, sleeping with boys? Okay. Two, how big is your heart? Do you give to other people? Do you care about other people? Are you a good a good home provider? So he is absolutely right. Most men worth their weight in gold. They probably sleep with the beautiful women, but to get the ring is what you do from the kindness of your heart. Because most of these girls that are high fashion, even if they work and got their own money, they probably have maids and everybody else to do the cooking and the cleaning because they don't care about that stuff. They're not homebodies, and they're not the type that's going to just sit at home and do the laundry. They want to go out and make money just like men, and that's not what I look for. I look for a conservative, traditional woman who has faith values, and that's somebody you can grow with and listen to. Because if you making $1 million and your wife's making $1 million, sometimes they don't want to listen because they figure, hell, I'm making just as much money as you. Why should you be the head of the household? Why should you lead? But if you find somebody, no matter what they do or how much money they make, if they're willing to grow and listen, because I'm willing to grow and listen too. I ain't gonna say I know everything. Grow and listen. That's what you should be looking for in a woman, not if she looks like Halle Berry or Kim Kardashian and all that old stuff. You need a woman that is so beautiful on the inside that you will never want her to leave your life. And that's why you put a ring on it.
I'm going to tell you, man, I pity the dudes that don't have women like that in their lives. Yeah. And I don't think that, women always say, man, I'm a good woman. Well, there's a difference in being a good woman and being a right woman.
Absolutely.
Right? Big difference. The right woman know how to read your thoughts before you even spill it out. You know what I'm saying? Like she know if something going on with me before I even say anything. She can just feel that energy. She know what ways that she can assist me. She know my weak areas. So she know how to assist me in areas that I'm not strong. And vice versa. And the biggest thing, I think the biggest thing is the kind. To me, when I judge women, I judge them on their kindness. Are you a kind person? Especially when you're mad. You see what I'm saying? Because if you can be kind when you're upset, that is that's a valuable, very valuable female. One of them that they get pissed off and they go off on the handles, them the kind that, man, dudes end up in the grave.
Absolutely.
Like that. I know of some dudes that then lost their life. Gone. Dealing with females like that. Absolutely. So I always, to me, it's kindness. Does it make you happy to make somebody a sandwich?
Yeah. That's the type of woman you're looking for. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. My old lady, man, she happy to get up let me tell y'all, every day. Hey, let me go ahead and go to commercial right quick because I need to talk. I got some people at my house, y'all. So let me go ahead and go to some music and then I'll be right back. All right.
All
right. Give me a minute.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people want to show. Am I gonna fumble? Am I gonna fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow.
You gon' know my hunger, you gon' know my name. Never did I make it, oh, but I was a lame. I'm telling y'all stories so y'all can know my pain. And I'ma need a straight jack, I'm finna go insane. Like every day I stayed up, trying to be the best out. Looking at me downfield, trying to run the best route. But you know these corners, man, had to put a curl in. All I do is fail, and I'm looking for my first win. Always fucking broke, I just wish that I can touch green. Trying to lead the hood, cause you know that I can do without. Gotta put my family on, you know that I can't do without. Can't stop, won't stop, baby, that's what this all about, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gonna fumble? Am I gonna fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
Can't stop, won't stop, gotta keep going. These niggas sleeping on me, so let them keep snoring. The best rap alive, and I gotta keep flowing. I'm pulling up like step, man, I gotta keep scoring. And losing not an option, I learned to be a better me. Best rap alive, and y'all others just a letter B. You trying to ride my wave, and these niggas trying to copy me. Wanted that alive, then you know these rappers dead to me. Second place, nigga, that's the best that they can ever be. Can't stop, won't stop, boy, you know I'm the recipe. Running the game for too long, think that I can give it up. Told y'all what a life I'm living, you know I had to live it up, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gonna fumble? Am I gonna fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
All right, we back, man. Thank y'all, man, for being patient with me. I got Hiller heating and plumbing at my house. My unit had went out. My whole AC heating unit went out. Had to replace some parts. So shout out to Hiller Heating and Plumbing. Very, very good company, and I recommend you guys use them if you aren't familiar with them. So, but we back, man. To leave off what I was saying is, to me, man, it is very important how kind a woman is. Not just how kind she is, but if she loves and really enjoys doing things for others. Like my wife loves making me sandwiches. She makes me the same breakfast sandwich every day. And the thing that I love is she enjoys doing it. She finds joy in doing it. If I was to say, sweetheart, you don't have to make me a sandwich today, she feel kind of some kind of way because that's her thing. That's what she loves to do. You know what I'm saying? That's her love language, taking care of others. So for fellas, if y'all find a woman like that, y'all better keep her, man. All them looks, this shit don't mean nothing. Look at Little Kim. Little Kim used to look good. Do little Kim look good now?
She had all that surgery and all that stuff, and man, it was crazy. But we have to have a show about that, Damo, about these BBLs. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of a DDL?
What is that?
A Dominican dick lift. Now, men are starting to get injections in their penises to enlarge their penises like a porn star.
And so I got to do all that.
And BBL, you have the collagen that these women are putting in their lips that have busted or infected their mouths. You have the women that has got the damn silicones in their damn breast that has busted, and now they got to go get it surgically removed, or it's going to cause them to get their breast augmentation, cut completely off. So yeah, I don't get why women think men want to marry that. Like you said, you get up every morning and your wife makes sure that your clothes are clean, that you are fed, that you are ready to go tackle the world as her man. That is a great woman. And then when you come home, even if you ain't able to eat with you and the kids, your plate's in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're looking for.
Man, you know what? I won't sit here and say that looks aren't important, but they are way further down the list than women think. Because some of y'all look good and still getting played. So how are y'all looks? What are y'all looks doing for y'all? Some of y'all look good and y'all still getting screwed over. Yeah. So just how valuable is your looks?
Excuse me, especially that's all you bring to the table, because over years, the new generation is going to look better than you because you're aging and these young girls are going to, so eventually you're going to lose that. And that's what men, like I said, that's worth their weight in gold. We're not looking for that, man. We got to plan for the days that we're 70, 80, 90, and nobody's caring about looks. We're caring about, can we take care of each other? Are we there for each other? Shit, if the house gets on fire, can both of us get out of there? You know, that's the type of spouse that you're looking for.
And there is so many beautiful women out here, right? And they don't have no substance. It's a reason why they're single. You see what I'm saying? And it's a lot of them that's single. It is hard to find just a valuable, first and foremost, dudes need to look for just valuable women. Women that just, you know, man, they're just good women. I'm talking about not just good to them. They are women that they attract people because their energy is so good. And it's not because they pretty. It's because they just really got, because it's a difference. Some women attract people because they're beautiful. But again, once that beauty fades, real dudes know that shit got a shelf life. Like I know. It got a shelf life. When that's gone, what is it going to keep you around? Because if beauty the only reason why you with her, then that's going to be the reason why you leave her too.
Absolutely. Those guys that date women for beauty always have a second somewhere. Absolutely, yeah.
And I was at work, and this very beautiful female, she all the time she struggled with her credit card because she got long nails. So she had asked me, hey, could you help me with my credit card? And I treat her, and my decorum toward her is the same as with any other female. First and foremost, I'm off the market, so you know what I'm saying? But even if I was on the market, if my energy wouldn't change. I'm going to treat you and talk to you just like I talk to everybody else. This new cat they hire, you see her, this and this and that. And I'm like, man, calm down, bruh. You look bad and you making me look bad.
Right.
You coming off real desperate, my dude. I was like, you think that's something that's gonna be attractive? No.
And I don't know why, because when I used to work my 9 to 5s or whatever, those little young boys, that's all they would talk about. Hey, you see the new girl they hired? You see how she live? I'm like,
I'm harder on them women. I'm harder on them women. Because I want them to understand that I don't give a damn how cute you think you are.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't have no value to me.
And I used to tell them, Damo, hey, you don't make enough for that girl, right? And if she's in here slinging pallets, like you, something went wrong. If this girl looks that good and she in this warehouse slinging pallets next to you, first, something went wrong. 2, you don't make enough money for her. And 3, when you no longer can afford her lifestyle, she's on to the next person.
Man,
so,
let me tell you about that. Man, you're right. And I seen this meme. And I cracked up when I saw this meme. And it's true. Dudes save money when we're single. Women save money when they're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So the relationship is more beneficial to the female than the dude. So I always be like, you know what? It's no benefit. So you might as well get with somebody that got the characteristics of a person that fits you. That's what I am. Do your characteristics fit? And with mine, it fit perfect. With my old lady, it fit perfect. Even to this day. You know, we'll argue. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could talk about any and everything. Politics, you know, man, celebrity BS, you know, history, all kind of stuff. Just literally. And it'd be an interesting conversation. You know? Yeah. I don't feel like I'm competing. So he right. We don't marry looks. We do. I know we got away from it, but we do marry behavior.
Yeah, behavior. Absolutely. I need a woman that got my back, not somebody who's high maintenance and beautiful and out gorgeous. And because in my mind, if you're gorgeous on the inside, to me, you're gorgeous on the outside. Because again, even in my younger days, I never dated for beauty. I dated for you cool. Now I knew some real, like really, really beautiful women that were down to earth. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a lot of them.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, I was always looking for the fine one, and that was, you know. But as I got older, you know, I learned and I see. Okay, this is why you got burned the way you did way back then. You see what I'm saying? Because I learned, and some of these females, I be like, oh man, I understand. When as soon as they open their mouth, I be like, okay, I understand why the father of the child left. That's
absolutely.
And I don't mean that as a slight, but I'm like, ooh, I understand. I see what he saw.
Yeah.
And why he wanted to leave, as fine as you are, you know what I'm saying? I understand that he probably did himself a service walking away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because some women are beautiful, but they aren't pleasant to be around. Yeah. Have you ever been?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not pleasant to be around.
They're ugly on the inside, man, and that's just cute with a bad personality.
And that's a bad combination, man.
That's what I said. I had to fall in love with somebody for me that was beautiful on the inside and outside, man. That's right. Yeah, that had to be it. I'm sorry. But I'm a simple guy anyway. I'm mostly conservative. I want to be the man of the relationship. I need a woman who didn't mind being the female. You know, just little things like that. And you have to talk about stuff like that too. You know, it's nothing wrong with being a little bit liberal, because I am a little bit liberal on some things. But the way I was raised in a Pokemon environment, I am probably more of a conservative black man than I am a liberal black man.
Right. I think most men that got their head on the swivel are more conservative men are thinking than liberal.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? This next one, man, Sky, we've been waiting all week because we kind of tapped into it last week, but we didn't really jump into it this week. This whole new paternity fraud bill in Tennessee. Yes. And, you know, is it good? Is it bad? So we're going to go ahead and jump into that. Man, this music a little bit, so I'm going to cut our background music. All right. So let me go ahead and jump into this. Let's play this. It actually was on YouTube, so.
Ban unmarried men from claiming a child that isn't biologically their own is making its way through the Tennessee legislature. Action News 5's Bria Bolden spoke with the local lawmaker behind this bill to find out why he believes the law is needed. Bria?
Well, Joe, House Bill 2698 passed through the Children and Family Affairs Subcommittee today. Now, but it didn't come without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services. Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring the House version of this bill, and he told me today he has spoken with constituents who said they have had to foot the bill for child support even after finding out a child they originally thought was theirs was not.
I worked at a child support agency for 5 years, and that is something that happens regularly. Men who aren't biologically the father of a child have to pay child support all the time.
He presented the magistrate with the DNA findings. The magistrate said, somebody got to take care of him, referring to the child, and it's going to be you, and gabbled him out.
Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring House Bill 2698 that would require DNA evidence proving paternity before a man signs a birth certificate for a child that may not be biologically his.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
However, the Tennessee Department of Human Services says if made into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
I guess the concerns that we have is that the bill would possibly put us out of compliance with the federal regulations.
After speaking with attorneys from the U.S. Department of Human Services, Representative Parkinson says the bill would not affect the money the state receives.
It's only right and a moral thing to do, an ethical thing to do, to ensure that the right people's names that match their DNA is on that birth certificate.
The child support agencies, as they exist now, do not have an incentive to find the actual biological father. Where paternity is not established for a child, they will try to go after who the biological father is first. Paternity is generally established in three ways, you can say. One is called marital presumption. So if the child is born within the marriage, usually conceived and born within the marriage, then the law recognizes that child as a child of the marriage, and the husband is legally the father. The second way would be from a court adjudicating it. So you might have a child who's born outside of a marriage, and this child does not have a father. When that happens, a court would hear, a case that would be brought before it, and the court would have the power to decide, who the father is. In the mid-'70s in the U.S., we started seeing a lot of children being born out of wedlock. So there was this increasing problem of kids not born within a marriage, and there was a lot of illegitimate kids. The government created, and alongside of the child support program, they created something called a voluntary declaration of paternity, or we can call it a VDP for short. Sometimes they also call it voluntary acknowledgement of parentage. What that is it's basically a form that two people can sign together, and it goes and it gets filed with the state. You can sign it at a child support agency, or you can sign it at a hospital. And in fact, the law, I believe, was amended to require hospitals to incorporate this program. So usually when a child is born, once the hospital finds out you two aren't married and the father is present there at the birth, one of the forms they're going to present to you is the voluntary declaration of paternity. And if you sign that acknowledging paternity, it gets filed with the state, and then it carries the weight of a legal finding. It's just as if a judge said you were the father. The reason the child support agency says this will affect their bottom line is because the funding for the agency, in a lot of ways, is based off of how the agency performs. Okay, so we used to have what was called federal performance measures, and a couple times a year, we'd be brought into the all-hands-on-deck meeting or whatever, and they would say, this is how we did on our PPMs this time, or FPMs. Some of the measures were, okay, how much child support did we collect? Of all the orders we had, how much of that did we actually collect from the parent? And we'd get a score on that. How much back pay did we collect? So for money that was owed in back pay, how much of that did we get? But the one that's relevant here is how many kids did we establish paternity for? The federal government is going to look at an individual state, and it's going to see how many kids were born there each year. And then it's going to see how many of those kids who were born out of wedlock did the state figure out who paternity was for. The organization, largely involved in this is the child support program, because their job is to establish paternity for kids who are born out of wedlock. And if the federal government sees that state did a good job of establishing paternity for most of those kids who were born out of wedlock, then they're going to get more funding based on that. So when the guy in the video is basically challenging it, saying this is going to affect how much funding the child support program gets, that's what he's referring to. This is from a family law journal, and it basically says here, the federal program creates incentives targeted at increasing paternity establishment. A state that does not meet paternity establishment goals will lose TANF funds. What are TANF funds? Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. That's welfare funds. So if the state's not doing a good job of establishing paternity, the federal government can pull away welfare funds, which they can use to give out to the program. States with paternity establishment rates above 50% receive incentive payments that increase as the rate increases. Since the initiation of the federal state child support program, the number of children for whom paternity is established has grown dramatically. The reason I'm reading this to you is because I'm trying to say that the child support agency has an incentive to establish paternity. However, they do not have an incentive to establish paternity of whoever the right biological parent is. Their federal performance measures are just based off how many kids have a name attached to them as a legal father that we do have to child support. That does not necessarily mean that person is the biological father.
Anything other than that are a child from a biological parent at the state sanction.
That was about a year ago, and there was a recent report that said one of the bills he was doing has gone through. And let's go ahead.
I wanted to pause there because what he just said, what he was saying that what they do is they attach men's names to kids, and they're not even sure if that man is the biological father or not. Now, I want y'all to remember that because the video that we're about to play next should really scare dudes out here. This is, man, I wasn't out here busting down Eddie and everybody because this. I used to think about this, and y'all don't understand what I'm talking about now, but you will after this video, and I play the next one. Y'all understand where I'm coming from. Y'all will truly understand where I'm coming from. But I want y'all to hold on to that. That part where he said that what they do is they just, who was the last two people you slept with? Okay, who do you think the father? Oh, that's the father? Okay, man, they the father. And they just slap that person's name onto that child. I want y'all to remember that. All right? Go ahead and go back into this.
Go ahead and read the language on it and see how it works. A party may voluntarily seek a genetic test from an accredited laboratory for a civil or criminal proceeding before a court issues an order requiring the genetic test. Ostensibly, I think what this means is that parties can take a genetic test, prior to a court actually ordering it. I don't know if that means exactly that all kids born, are going to be required to take a genetic test at the hospital. That's not exactly what that language means. Aside from this, there's also another bill that the same representative put through. It said a bill introduced to the Tennessee General Assembly would make it a crime to falsely accuse someone of being a child's parent. The bill, known as HB 0253 and SB 0331, passed the state Senate unanimously on March 20th. The bill would make it a misdemeanor when a person commits parentage fraud. Parentage fraud, as defined in the bill, occurs when a person seeks to legally establish the individual as the biological parent of a child in the person's custody with intent to deprive that person of property or to prevent the child's actual biological parent from exercising parental rights to the child. Under the bill, parentage fraud could also be when someone seeks to be legally established as a child's parent and the person knows or should reasonably know that they are not the biological parent. What this kind of means is you have this form out there called a voluntary declaration of paternity. And, a woman can know she's pregnant and maybe she has a pretty good idea of who the father is, but maybe she doesn't want that guy involved in her life anymore. She can have the baby and maybe with her new boyfriend or whatever, who might not entirely know what's going on. And at the hospital, she can not, she's not going to say anything to her ex. So the ex might not even know that a baby was born, to say if she's been sleeping with multiple people or not. So the new boyfriend
Most of them ain't
signs
gonna admit
the
that.
voluntary declaration of paternity. It goes to the state, carries the weight of a legal finding. He's now the parent. Later on, after most of these have like a 60-day rescission period, meaning that after 60 days, before 60 days reaches, if you're at the hospital and you felt like there was a lot of pressure and you signed this thing, and you're like, I'm really not the father, you can go to the state and get it rescinded. Once the 60 days passes, it varies state from state. In California, you have 2 years to challenge it. Actually, California is even more strict. It's 2 years from the child's birth. Other states, I think Oregon is 1 year from when you sign the voluntary declaration of paternity. Some guys might be in jail, then they get out of jail, and they actually sign it when the kid's 2, so then they have a year from that to challenge it. In Tennessee, I believe it's 5 years. So it's 5 years. So maybe the kid's 5 or 6 now. For whatever reason, dad finds out that kid's not genetically his. I mean, they have private genetic tests they can do. Or maybe mom breaks up with them, and she's like, you were never the dad. Ha, take that. And the dad figures this out. The dad then takes it to court to challenge. When the dad does that, pretty much what's going to happen is the court's going to say, sorry, regardless of genetic testing, you're going to be the child's father, and you have to pay child support.
He presented the magistrate with the DNA findings. The magistrate said, somebody got to take care of him, referring to the child, and it's going to be you, and gabbled him out.
So that's what the Antonio Parkinson was. He was talking about guys like that who got screwed over from the voluntary declaration of parentage through fraud, and that's who he's fighting for. Now let's take a look at his other bill, 0253 Closer, and see what it said. I don't see that the amendment passed, which is more so geared towards the birth certificate and the stuff he was talking about in the video, but this other bill passed. So a person commits parentage fraud who seeks to legally establish the individual as the biological parent of a child in the parent's custody with intent to deprive the individual of property or to prevent the child's actual biological parent from exercising parental rights to the child, and the person knows or reasonably should know that the individual is not the child's biological parent. So this goes back to our example. It's not just about lying to the new boyfriend about being the father. It's about preventing the other guy from being able to bring a challenge in court that says, hey, I'm really the father and I want a relationship. So the woman is using a kind of legal shielding in order to prevent this guy from being able to exercise his right as the real father. Seeks to be legally established as a child's parent based on the person's status as a biological parent of the child, and the person knows or reasonably should know that the person is not the child's biological parent. So that says parentage fraud is a Class A misdemeanor. Okay, that's good. That's a step in the right direction. Now, this is the part that I think is important. Subsection A does not apply when the child involved was conceived as a result of an act that would be considered aggravated rape. Okay, so that's going to be coercion, and there's an exception for that. The child involved has been or is in the process of being adopted. So that basically means that the kid's going to be adopted here soon. They already have a date when that's going to happen. Unfortunately, if you are the real dad trying to fight for this, it's too late because the adoption's already taking effect. So that's an exception. But this last one here is the most important to me. The victim of the offense was the defendant's spouse at the time of the offense. What it's saying is if the paternity fraud happened to you while you were married, then none of this applies to you. And if you might be wondering, well, why is that? Why wouldn't this still be considered paternity fraud with a misdemeanor and the court being able to undo that for people who are in a marriage and then get broke up? Why does it only apply to people who maybe sign the voluntary declaration of paternity instead? The reason for that goes a long way back into case law and how we kind of got here in the first place. I think a lot of us look at the technology we have now, like genetic testing, and we're like, it should be so obvious who the parent is. Just do a genetic test. But the thing that you have to understand is that genetic testing didn't come around until about the mid-90s, okay? Before that, we had blood tests since about, I think, the 70s, but blood tests weren't entirely accurate, or they weren't entirely precise in the sense that they were better for excluding someone as a parent, but they couldn't exactly show someone as a parent. Okay, so in the mid-90s, when the genetic test came around, cheap and affordable for everybody that, you can get one of these,
Right.
It was kind of like a nuclear bomb in this game because it allowed people to be identified definitively as the father. However, before the 90s, courts were deciding on who the father was or wasn't for a very long time. And since there were no genetic tests, the way that they would prove who the father was by the relationship and cohabitation. You know, did you hold yourself out to be the parent? Did you provide for the child? Were you living with the child and creating an emotional attachment as the father? And then beyond that, if you weren't doing that, that's when they probably bring in witnesses and people will be like, I used to see them together. And that's for sure the guy, even though he denies it now. He, was at our Christmas party and they both came together. Whatever they'd say. That's why now a lot of the laws are created and it's rooted in these old, statutes and case law that basically uphold the relationship with the child more so than who's biologically the father. And it wasn't just about relationship. It was also about protecting the sanctity of marriage. Once genetic testing came out, that you started seeing guys who would go and they'd sue a nuclear family, probably the mom or the dad or whoever, and say, hey, I'm actually biologically the father and I want visitation rights with my kids, or I want parental rights over my kids. And so now you started seeing the sanctity of marriage being challenged by people looking for custody, visitation, parental rights, where you in a new way that you really hadn't seen before. We've had cases go all the way up to the Supreme Court in this time, and essentially the Supreme Court has always ruled in favor to uphold more so the sanctity of the marriage and to make more important the relationship one adult has with the child versus just the biology of the child. So the biology takes a backseat compared to the relationship. Michael H. v. Gerald D. presented the Supreme Court with a new dimension to the problem of determining the extent of an unwed father's paternal rights. The unwed father, Michael H., had an adulterous affair with Carol D. that continued intermittently for 6 years. Carol D. gave birth to a daughter, Victoria D., during the time of her involvement with Michael H., and blood tests confirmed with 98% certainty that Michael H. fathered the child. Carol D. and Victoria D. periodically lived with Michael H. during the first 3 years of Victoria D.'s life, and Michael H. held the child out as his own. Nevertheless, when Carol D. reconciled with her husband, Gerald D., establishing a permanent home with him, she prevented Michael H. from maintaining a relationship with Victoria D. Although Michael H. filed affiliation action in the California Superior Court and gained limited visitation privileges, Gerald D. intervened in the suit, citing Section 621 of the California Evidence Code, and asked the court to dismiss Michael H.'s claim. So the prior cases that had come up to the Supreme Court at this point, it was an easier decision for them to make because, for the most part, the kids had been living within the nuclear family. You know what I mean? And or if they hadn't been, it was clear where cohabitation had laid more. This case was special because you had a kid that was living with the husband for a certain amount of time, but then also living with the biological father for like an almost equal amount of time. So the court had to figure out, what do we uphold here, marriage or the biological, father? Section 621 of the California Evidence Code presumes that a woman's husband, if he is not impotent or sterile, is the father of her children. Only the mother's husband, or under limited circumstances, the mother of the child, can rebut the marital presumption. Because an unwed father cannot rebut the presumption, it is difficult for him to maintain a relationship with his child. Therefore, to continue to associate with this child, an unwed father must gain visitation rights under Section 4601 of the California Civil Code, which allows a court to grant in its discretion reasonable visitation rights to any person having an interest in the welfare of the child. In Michael H., the California Superior Court granted Gerald's motion disallowing any further visitation.
Section 1, 2, 3, ABC.
So he had originally had a visitation order that was probably based off of the relationship he did have with the child, but then it got overturned. The presumption of legitimacy, which identified Gerald D. as Victoria's father under California law, precluded Michael H. from asserting his paternity and consequently his right to maintain a relationship with his child. Therefore, Michael H. attacked on due process grounds the California statute that endorsed the marital presumption. And so this is how it ended up in front of the Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court, in a plurality decision written by Justice Scalia, upheld the constitutionality of the California statute. The plurality concluded that the Constitution traditionally affords no protection to the relationship between a natural father and his adulterously conceived offspring. And that's basically saying that if you're an affair partner of a woman who's married and she gets pregnant and it's your kid, the husband of her marriage actually has more of a right to retain parentage over the child, because especially if they're living together, the kid's living with the husband, who's not biologically the father, and the relationship is being created there. It's more so about cohabitation than it really is about this. Unable to point to previous cases or sources traditionally recognizing the right of a natural father to continue contact with his adulterously conceived offspring, Michael H. failed to show that he had a constitutionally protected liberty interest in maintaining a relationship with Victoria D. So to tie this back into the Tennessee bill, the reason that exception is in there of if the victim was the spouse of the defendant, basically the person who's committing paternity fraud, it's actually an exception. And these new rules that apply in these fraud cases with the voluntary declaration of paternity won't apply to the ex-wife or even the current wife if she does the same stuff to the husband, which in my opinion is kind of weird, because just because you sign the marriage documents means that, you know, you can't use this law in your favor. And the laws on the face of it are meant to protect, you know, the husband and keep the nuclear family together, so you can't have these outside challenges, you know. But what's kind of interesting is all that sort of prior background case law also gets used to kind of screw over a guy when he's trying to get divorced and he finds out it's not genetically his, and he's like, well, these aren't my kids. Then they kind of use all that stuff about, you know, protecting the sanctity of marriage and the nuclear family against you in a way, because at that point you can't really challenge paternity, because they're going to say you've been cohabitating with the child. And especially if there's nobody else to take care of the child, they're going to say you're going to take care of the child because you were married, you cohabitated, and it's way past any time to be able to challenge that.
With the DNA bindings,
I know a lot of dudes in that situation. You know
somebody
that?
got to take care of him, referring to the child, and it's going to be you, and gabbled him out.
In California, if you're married, you have until the child is 2 to have an action filed and served, right? So, you know, if you're getting divorced and the kid's 3, it's kind of too late. I mean, maybe if the other guy's involved and you guys all agree to an adoption, it's possible, but the chances of that happening I don't think is very high. Anyways, I just wanted to share some of that with you because I think it could help clear up how some of these laws work. There's a lot more to this stuff. You know, I really tried to just go over this as fast as possible, and I still think I was a little long-winded, honestly. But we'll talk about it more on this channel, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. If you're in a situation like this, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe I'll even make a video discussing it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Man, this dude hit on a lot of good points. A lot of the situations that he talked about, I know dudes that are in those situations.
Say hello to Zaxby's Southern Fried Shrimp.
I think it's long overdue that they even... at least Tennessee now getting to this point now where they're getting more involved. They're leveling the playing field. But this is something that's long overdue. You know what I'm saying? And it should be nationwide. And it's not even about the men or the women. It should be about the kids. This is how I know that they don't care about the kids. Because if they care about the kids, all that money that they're giving to them for funding, they should be giving to them. You know what I'm saying? Like all that money instead of funding, they should figure out, who the father of these kids?
Mm-hmm. That is so true. Shouts out to Faith. She commented, I thought he said the male had to sign the paper as well. He might have said that in the video. I don't know if I picked it up, but I just have 3 pointers that I wanted to touch on. One, the black and white situation. Have you ever noticed that on your street or somebody else's street, when you're driving down there, you hit that same pothole every day and it tears up your car? But let the mayor, the governor, or some type of dignitary hit that pothole, it'll have been fixed the day before they hit it. Do you see what I'm saying? So this law is not really to comfort people. The wrong person got caught up. I'm telling y'all, this is it. Some white governor, mayor, alderman, rich person has got caught up in this. That's why they went to them to get this bill passed. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't even be talking about this stuff. So always remember that when a bill or something like this is coming to fruition, it's because it touched the wrong or the right person. Let's put it that way. Either the wrong person or the right person. 2, I can't feel bad because I'm a product of that. When I came into this world, my mama was married. So my last name came from the man she was married to. So yeah, I'm a product of that coming into this world in a marriage. And we all knew that man was not my biological father, but since they were married, he was my father at the time. And I took his last name and not my biological father's last name, right?
Right.
Dude, I can't feel bad for a lot of these guys because even if this law was never passed, you still can ask for a DNA test. A lot of these guys just sign the birth certificate blindly. Like you don't even if you have any doubt, and because you know how some people just don't like to argue, why are you asking me this? You don't trust me? Damn that. If you have any doubt, it's nothing for you to get a paternity test before you sign that birth certificate. So I'm glad this law is coming out because again, a lot of women do manipulate the child and who they want to live with and who they want the child to grow up with, or they out here cheating. Because back in the day, what women used to do, because I have family members that worked at Planned Parenthood, they would just go have abortions. But now since that's kind of frowned upon, so now if you cheat and get pregnant, you just blame it on the guy that you with or the husband because like he just said in the video, your wife go cheat, you don't know, you think it's yours, she ain't got to tell you because you ain't asked no DNA test because you trust her, right? So then you're going to parent a child that ain't even yours at all. But with this law, now as the married man, you can contest it if you even think something like that happened. And the last point I want to talk about is the government. So the government is saying we're tired of taking care of people's kids. We're tired of women laying up, having kids, not knowing who the father is, and giving them money to take care of their kids. Well, in this video, the same money that you don't want to give to these women and these kids, you're turning around giving it to child support services to find out who the father is. So the money's there. The government is spending the money. Are they giving it to the women and the children that's in the projects that don't know who the daddy is? Or are they giving it to the child support department for going out looking for the fathers and having a father in the child's life? So they're still spending the money either way. So they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. The government, when they talk about, well, we tired of spending this money, well, you're not giving it to them. But then in this video, he's saying that you're giving it to the child support government people because this is why they want to fire fathers to keep getting that same funding.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. I know a situation, and I'm going to tell you a real life story I heard. This woman was messing with 2 dudes. She didn't know which one was the father. So she know what she did. She named the boy after both men. So the boy ended up having half the name of one man, half the name of the other man. The crazy part about this story is the dude that I think is actually the father, he got a daughter with this woman, right? Now that boy and that daughter look exactly alike. The only difference is that the boy is light-skinned, like the mom. The father is dark-skinned. Now, the other dude, he don't look nothing like, because the other dude got daughters by this woman too, all right? Them daughters don't look nothing like the other dude. This son looks exactly like the man that's not claiming.
So you said she was sleeping with 2 baby daddies?
She was sleeping with 2 dudes. She left one, and that's why I said we about to play this next. We about to go into it's about to get a little deep. But I'm gonna tell y'all how deep this is, right? So we just listen to all this. Let's move this along. All right? Because I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation with somebody about this, right? And I want to get real silent because I want you to hear this. Because, ladies, I know, and I'm bringing this all full circle because I know a lot of ladies be like, I'm very hard on women. That always say it's the women. What about the men? Well, the next topic, it kind of goes into this. I always say that the men give access to marriage. So unless you getting down on your knees proposing to a man, you ain't gonna get married unless a man go ahead and do the traditional thing, which is get on one knee and propose to you. Well, it's the same with sex. We can want sex all day. But if y'all don't give us access to y'all bodies, guess what? We just gonna be some blue ball, hard up dudes.
Shaking the dice.
Is criminally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, let's go ahead and play this. I want y'all to listen. This is from Kendra G. Remember I was talking about the thing that scared me is a lot of these females do not force dudes to wear condoms.
Mm-hmm.
They don't force them to.
Nope.
Without further ado, y'all, I wish I could have used this clip in another debate I had the other day.
How about a say men?
No.
How many men?
5 men.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man.
Hold on. Here we go. I wanted to start this from the beginning so y'all can hear this in this whole context.
Kids? I do. I have 6 altogether.
You gave birth to 6 children?
I did. I gave birth to 6 children.
Are they all about the same man?
No, ma'am.
How many men?
4.
4 men. Melissa, have you ever been married?
I have not.
You have any children?
Yes, I do. I have 5 children.
You have 5 kids. Are all about the same man?
No, they're not. There's 4 different.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, ma'am. I have 4.
How many kids you got, Angel?
I have 4.
Are your children by the same man?
No, ma'am.
How many men?
All my kids were by different men.
So 4?
Yes.
Okay, 4 men. Okay.
Nasty bitch.
You have any kids? How many kids do you have?
I have 3. I have a 15-year-old. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I've never been married.
How many men do you have children by?
3.
21 years young. Do you have any children?
I have 3. I have a 12-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old.
Are they all by the same man?
No, ma'am.
Does a 10-month-old and a 3-year-old have the same daddy? How many men do you have children by?
3.
32. Okay, since we got there early, how many kids you have?
I have 5.
You have 5 kids? Girl, how old are your 5 kids?
14, 8, 6, 4, and 2.
All by the same man?
No.
How many men?
5 men.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man.
We have any kids?
I have 4 almost adult children.
All by the same man?
No.
How many men?
4.
4. Have you ever married?
I have been married to a woman, and it was like an arranged marriage.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yes.
You have any kids?
I do. I have 5.
All by the same man? How many men?
I'm sorry?
How many men?
3.
3 men. Okay. Do you have any? Oh, you have a child. How many kids do you have?
Yeah, 7. She's the youngest.
You have 7 children. Okay. How many
I have 8. You have 8 kids? I really do. You gave birth to 8 kids? I did. 8 kids came out of your womb? Yes, ma'am. All by the same man? 3 different fathers. So you have a grandbaby. How many kids do you have? I have 4 sons. Excuse me? 4 sons. 4 sons. All by the same man? No, by 3 different fathers. 3 men. Have you ever been married? No, I haven't. Okay. Do you have any children? Yes, I have 4. Okay. Okay. All by the same man? No, ma'am. How many men? 2. Do you have any kids? Yes, I got 4 kids. How many men? 4. Another one. Why you not with the 1-year-old dad? He got some problems. Like, he had too many problems. Like, he got like some crazy problems. And I had to leave him. Baby violence. Huh? Why did you have a baby violence? I was pregnant before I found out. Why did you get pregnant before you found out he had problems? I found out he had problems after. You should have found out first, right? Yes. Okay. You have any children? Yes. This is where they're going to eat me up. I have 4 kids. Are they all by the same man? Nope. I have 4 different babies. Okay, they're your men. Have you ever been married? No. Okay, well, do you desire marriage? Yes, I do. Indeed. I definitely marry one day. Not gonna happen! Not gonna happen! Not gonna happen! Do you have any kids? 4. 4 kids. How old are your kids? 15, 12, 9, and 5. All right, how about the same man? No. How many men? 3. You ever been married? No. You have any kids? I do. I have 5. You have 5 kids? 2. Girl, you seem too deep for to have 5 kids. How about the same man? No. How many men? 3. 3. Have you ever been married? You ever been married? No. Oh, I was recently engaged. 3 men. Okay. Why don't you spell down what any of your children's names? Well, you know, it is what it is. No, I don't know it is what it is. That's why I'm asking. It didn't work out. Well, all 3 of them? All 3 of them. Girl, no. One of them was abusive. The other one did jail time. And yeah, the other one, it just didn't work out. Okay.
Now we just went through that. 6 kids. How many baby fathers? 3. I have 4 kids. How many are all of them same father? No. But how many baby fathers? 4. And so on. And that was a long, almost 2-minute clip.
About 10 women.
Man. So could you imagine how many of these dudes out here think they the daddy and they're not even the daddy? A lot of them having babies very close to years. I got a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, and an 8-year-old. So that means that you out here screwing raw and there's no protection. You're not even protecting yourself.
Right. So if she has, let's say, 5 kids, 5 baby daddies, right? What is the chance that she only has sex 5 times? Because she at least has to have sex once each time to get pregnant, right? What is the chances that she only has sex 5 times?
Man, that's the scary part.
So that means at the average, at least each man she probably slept with at least 20 times. Unprotected. Or maybe more, right? So she had sex, let's say 100 times, unprotected, and got pregnant 5 times out of that. By 5 different men. And so this is the sad part about giving people way too much freedom. Because in some countries in this world, that shit's not going to happen. Women don't even have that type of freedom to be out here just screwing like that. You know what I'm saying? That is just ridiculous. And this is go back to, like you said, the child support people. Who are the fathers of these men, of these kids? And a lot of those girls that she interviewed are probably the same ones that are getting money from the government. And the government's like, look, you having 4, 5, 6, 7 kids by different men. You ain't married. They're not signing the birth certificate. You just slept with a man. You don't even know his social security number. You don't know where his mama lived. You don't know what school he went to. And then he's gone to get the next girl pregnant. That's the issue. So even if they do pass this paternity law, if she don't even know this man's last name, all she did was met him at a club and knew his rap name, you still ain't gonna catch the father.
Man, you know the scary part about this? How many of them women and all the men? Because if we're going to say it was 10 women, then it had to be involving how many men?
Yeah.
40, 50?
Shit, you had to have some type of algebra equation for that, right?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, we know it's at least 3 times the amount of women. At least.
Right.
So if it's 10 women, we know it's at least 30 men. You know the scary part about all that? How many of them cases did they actually get a paternity case?
None of them. Because again, even if they did, even if they went after the ones they thought, like on Maury, even if you went after the ones you thought was the father, and it says you are not the father, the chances of you catching the actual guy that you had a one-night stand with, that you knew nothing about, that you let him penetrate you with no condom, is gone. You couldn't even pick this man out of the police lineup. Even if the police called him, you couldn't say, well, I think that was him. Because what does a lot of people say? Well, it's alcohol involved, drugs involved, you know, shit just happens. I hate that shit. Shit just happens. All that old bull crap. So you never gonna really catch him because now everybody gonna hate me when I say this. Now with this situation, you have to hold the women accountable. Unless you got raped, why are you letting these men do this to you? I don't care what your life is about. I don't care how much you've been abused, lied to. I don't care if you have self-esteem issue, if you have anxiety, if you have depression. Sex is not the way to run away from reality. That makes no sense because all you're going to do is bring a child into this world, which is going to amplify your anxiety, your depression, your insecurities, and all this stuff. Man,
and people always say, well, what about the men? Well, the men are the ones that get access to sex. That's right. You. That's on you. A man can only do what you allow him to do. If he's not giving you access to marriage, why are you giving him access to sex?
That's millions of women that need to hear what you just said. Millions of them.
Yeah, if he's not giving you access to marriage, because that's what we give women access to. We give women access to marriage. So Absolutely. If a dude's not giving you access to marriage, why are you giving him access to sex?
Absolutely. Or even if you don't even care about marriage, because there's some women that don't care about marriage. If he's not even giving you some type of stability, why are you giving him access to yourself? Because at least if you don't want to get married, because there's just some women that just don't want to get married, they don't believe in it. At least be with a man that you know that's going to provide, whether he's with you or without you. That means you know you've met his parents, you've been to the cookout, you have his social security number, he's going to pay child support, or he's going to live with you till y'all die. Because a lot of people don't believe in marriage. So I get that, but I'm with you, Damo, to just be going to the club, getting high, having one night stands, or you see some cute guy you think is hot and you slept with him behind the damn bleachers or sleeping. You know, a lot of people have sex on beaches. Like, I mean, just the craziest things in the world. And then you bring a child into this world, it just amplifies every problem you've ever had.
Sky, I think that's the most frustrating thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Being intelligent. I ain't the brightest crayon in the box. But I get it, man. Nobody's perfect. So if you're out here, you got to get your little rocks off. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your orgasm. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But just to do it recklessly, without protection, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you should have 4 kids by 4 different men. You shouldn't even have 5 kids by 3 different men. You know what I'm saying? Really, to be real, you shouldn't have 3 kids with 2 different men. The first time a dude get over on you, you gotta say, okay,
that's what I'm about to say.
We're gonna be marriage, or I'm just gonna be taking a pill or doing what I gotta do. I gotta take something off that counter, depot shot, or whatever I gotta do. I ain't having no baby by you until you give me access to marriage. Absolutely. Why would I give you access to my womb and you're not giving me? And see, because I grew up with them, my health teachers and all my teachers telling me that women were smarter than men. Mm-hmm. And then I look at this and I be like, well, if women were smarter than men, then how do these dudes keep getting over on these females?
Absolutely, because they peak at high school. And I'm with you, the lady that had 5 kids by 3 different men, one man fooled you twice, right? So after you saw that he wasn't shit the first time, you still went back and slept with him and he got you pregnant again. And this is why, again, this show, y'all can hate me because this is all about the women now. Damn, what about the men? This is about the woman. Even as a man, if I let somebody treat me like a fool, shame on them. The second time, shame on me. Because you showed me who you was the first time, and I still went back to you as a friend or whatever. That's why I tell you I don't feel bad for them. They're crazy.
I just don't get it, dude. Yes. And you heard that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that puts things, now that you heard that puts things in totally different context.
Yeah.
Females be like, you must hate women. It's not that I hate women. It's not that you hate women or any other dudes. Man, like, I got daughters. Why would I hate women? Think about that whole statement. I'm married to a woman and I got daughters, but I hate women. Like, come on, man. You know, it's just the expectations. I expect more. I don't expect 6 kids by 4 different men or 4 kids by 4 different men. This next story I'm gonna play y'all, this woman got 12 kids by 8 men. That's 12 kids, 8 dudes.
Hey, Dango, before you play, do you remember that TV show Kate Plus 8?
Yeah.
But at least she was married.
Yeah, and she had all them kids by that one dude.
By that one man, absolutely.
You know, and that's bad enough, but hey, bitch, she got a husband, can't knock it. They used to do that. Used to have as many kids as possible. They help with the farm hands, farm hands and stuff, right?
Absolutely. Right.
So I don't knock that. But man, when you got multiple, because then I'm wondering, like, how many of these dudes actually have taken a DNA test to find out if the kids were there? You think any of them did?
No. Because a lot of these guys are one night stands, or a lot of these guys are, I'm going to be with you, and then when I no longer need you, I'm going to the next woman. And these girls are cool with that. As long as they're not laying in bed by themselves and they're not alone, they'll go from one dude to another dude to another dude to another dude. And to me, there's something wrong psychologically.
They do it unprotected. They do it with no protection.
Absolutely. Damn. As I said, I would never buy stocking condoms because nobody's using them.
I mean, whoever would have thought that many women having that many kids by that many men? I mean, that was a compilation. And that was just on her show. I'm quite sure if they dug a little bit more, they would have found even more. Like women saying that. That's scary though when you think about it. Because you think about it, somebody saying, hey, this your child. And then you just accepting that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
and I used to not be against this statement because a lot of people say don't date women with kids or don't marry women with kids. But if I see a woman I'm interested in and she has 8 kids, I can't do that. I'm so sorry. Something's wrong.
Or even 4 kids with 4 different men.
Thank you.
What's on that? What dude say, I'll take that?
I'll take care of all these problems. No, we can be friends, but no, thank you. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Because
I don't want them problems.
It just lets me know you ain't grew up yet. I mean, if you're a teenager, if you're between 18 and 25 and you have 4 kids with 4 different men, to me, you're still childish. You ain't grown yet. The state says that you're grown, but mentally you ain't grown. But by the time you get in your 30s and 40s, you got all these kids, it let me know you ain't grew up here. How are we going to grow when you ain't grew up here?
Mentally.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I was saying. Remember, we've had conversations of women being upset with older men dating younger girls.
Right.
But a lot of these older women are still in their high school mindset.
Absolutely.
If you're in a situation where you like that, got multiple baby daddies, you ain't left high school.
No,
You're
you ain't
still in high school.
Yep. That is absolutely true. And so a lot of these women won't never be married that has no kids, right? Think about all the women that won't be married with multiple kids. Because now men that are worth their weight in gold is like, I won't say children is a liability, but if they're not your kids, they could be a liability. You know what I'm saying? They're not assets, I'm sorry.
I got into a deep debate the other day about this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't my daddy. You gotta, and then now let's take it even deeper, Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine the animosity amongst the children?
Yeah.
We all brothers. We all got different dads. But his dad picked him up and more involved than him. I can't stand him. Why did he have to have a good dad and my dad don't even care if I exist or not?
Absolutely. And that happens. That's real talk. Remember that video we shared where the dude came up and picked up his child? Well, he didn't pick up his child. He gave his child McDonald's and the other kids didn't get anything. And the mama got on to him. Like, if you going to bring food for your child, you need to bring them for all the kids. And he was like, those are not my kids. She said, it don't matter. These kids don't see it that way. They're looking at he's being treated better than them. You know? And a lot of people are like, well, I would have just took my child in the car, took him to McDonald's, ate, and then brought him back. Than to bring the food to the house where the other kids are sitting there watching him eat.
Yep. I seen the video where a woman didn't let her child go with the man because he was going to take his daughter to Disney World, and she didn't want the other kids to be like, you know, to feel a certain kind of way, seeing a sister come back with Mickey Mouse ears, knowing she went to Disney World and their daddy didn't take her.
And it's her fault. She deserves it. I would have took my daughter to Disney World and I would have begged and pleaded for God for those other kids to get on her damn nerves, yell, cry, and scream, because it is your fault for sleeping with men that you knew wasn't gonna be there for you and their kids. Now me personally, would I've done that? Probably not. I probably would have taken all of them to Disney World. But the average man don't have to. All he has to do is take care of, he signed the birth certificate. This little girl is mine. So I have to take care of mine. She wants to go to Disney World. If these other 3 are going to bitch him on and get on your nerves, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Or you tell the other daddies to step up too.
Or, you know, this is why you want to have all your kids with one person. This is why. This is why you don't want kids with multiple people. And this is why if you're going to give them access to your body, then you want to make sure that they give you access to marriage. Because if not, then what is the point?
People just having frivolous sex. And it's okay until kids get involved. If you can have sex without never getting pregnant, then no power to you. But when you start bringing in multiple kids, that's when you make the situation more harder than what it is. Because now you want a good man with a good job to come take care of you and these kids, because you're a package deal, and put it with the bullet of your baby daddies. Because now the baby daddies are like, well, you married to this man, he makes $200,000 a year, I ain't got to do nothing now. Don't call me for nothing. Okay, you might not be giving money, but the emotional state that you putting on these kids because they're real daddies don't want them. There's no amount of money I can do to fill that hole. There's no amount of Disney World, McDonald's, none of that stuff to fill that hole that they biological daddies didn't want to be in their lives.
I think that's the part that frustrates me most because I love kids. So I always look at it from the perspective of what the kids got to go through.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I've seen households where sibling relationships have been destroyed because of kids having different biological parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If one's father is coming to get them all the time and taking them, and I never see my dad, there's going to be some animosity.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And then let's go back and play devil's advocate. Then let's go back to the woman. If the woman is even thinking about that as a woman, then yeah, I would lie. Now I have to lie. Now all these other kids, whoever the good daddy is, all of them are yours. Because like you just said, if I tell the truth and say that these other three are by these other sorry ass men, there's gonna be sibling animosity. So I'm gonna bring you all together and put you in one package. So when he picks up one, he's picking up all. Now, damn it, unless you just damn it stupid and you look at these other kids, they don't look nothing like you, but hey, whatever. If you decide that
I don't understand why it's so complicated, man. I don't understand why adults, it's so complicated. Like, it's the most sensible thing, and it's like, damn, why do people make this stuff way more complicated? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have enough control, penis control, because I get it. Every now and then, man, we men may lose our way. But Naj, I watch Naj, that is on females because they give access to that. The marriage part is on us because we give access to that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to say, put it on the men for not marrying these women, you're fine in saying that. You're right in saying that. But then I always say, as the females, if he's not going to give you access to marriage, why would you give him access to your body? That's not, I mean, life is transactional. So if you're giving him access to your womb, then what is he giving you in return? Because we don't never go to the store and shop at the store and expect to walk out of there with something for free.
Absolutely.
Unless we plan on going to jail. So why do y'all let them walk into your store and grab something for free without no consequence?
Nothing at all. Absolutely.
And the kids will suffer. Because you know, man, there's 6 of us. You ain't got enough to give all 6 of us love. You got to work to take care of us. So, you know, man, damn, his daddy bought him a bike. My daddy ain't even called me for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm not going to hate my brother? Hell yeah, I would hate my brother.
Right.
It ain't even my brother's fault.
Nope. It's nobody's fault but the parents. Absolutely. But they don't think about this stuff when they're making these kids. That's the problem. Nobody thinks about this stuff when they're making
kids. You're supposed to think about the kids before you have them. That's what I did. I'm telling you, man, that's why I thought about the situation with the kids before I had them.
Absolutely.
I was like, man, I ain't having no kids, and I ain't married. I ain't having no kids. No ifs, and ain't gonna be no accidents. Ain't gonna be no pre-semen. You know the percentage of that? No, man, these dudes be laying up in y'all going, ugh.
Thank you.
He got the whole, he scraped the whole bar of jam inside.
What they say, they shooting up the club.
Yeah, they just in there and just take water all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They take buckets, semen all up in you, man.
I wish they would have never taught that. You know that? I wish they would have never taught that about pre-semen. You know how much it takes if he ejaculates in you. You still won't get pregnant because it's a miracle. Life is a blessing because it's a miracle because it takes that sperm because those vaginas are catching the sperm. And if you just know the whole situation of the inside of a vagina. But anyway, that one sperm has to make it, right? Out of millions of sperms is what they say.
Millions.
If you
trillions of trillions.
Yeah, if you do pre-sperm and it's only like 10,000 of them coming from the pre-sperm, how the shit did you get pregnant from pre-sperm?
I mean, it can happen, but what's the chance? I've had sessions where I didn't, you know what I'm saying, 4 or 5 times and they got the person pregnant. raw. You know
all
what
my
I'm
kids
saying?
came was not from pre-sperm. I can just tell you that.
I know what you mean.
It wasn't from
Because I was
condoms
in there, man. I was in there like this. I was with a Uzi in that mug.
Look, it wasn't from the condom busting. It wasn't from pre-semen.
That's another one, man. It popped. Man, you know why it popped? Because, man, he had on that little ass shit, man. You know what I'm saying? He had on that. Of course. If you ever put on, you wear a size, imagine if you wear a size 8 and then you put on a size 5. You're going to bust too. Your shoe going to bust too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If you know you wear XL and you put on a medium, that shirt going to pop too.
Absolutely.
That's just common sense, man.
Yep.
I don't know why people just make that shit like that's common sense.
For me, it is. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, it actually is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're going to swing over to this woman, and I want y'all to hear this. I just want y'all to hear this bullshit, because I was like, goo, gooly, goo.
I currently have 12 kids. I am a stay-at-home mama. There are a total of 8 baby daddies in my life right now, and none of them want to help me out. I can't squeeze $1 from any of them for these kids. I don't know what to do here, Dave. I don't know if I should file bankruptcy or not.
She can't squeeze $1. She sure can't squeeze a nut, can't she?
Thank you.
All right, I just wanted to say that. Let's get back to
12
it.
kids.
You know, talk about a stay-at-home mama. Man, you a welfare queen, man. That shit pissed me off.
And how old are the babies?
So I have 2 10-year-olds, 1 9-year-old, 1 8-year-old, 2 6-year-olds, 1 5-year-old, 3 3-year-olds, and 2 newborn babies. I also might try for another this year, but at this point, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, Dave.
Yeah. Ain't no treads left on them tires. They gone.
Yeah, that's men's fault. Well, what about the men? I mean, yeah, them dudes they dumb. All them dudes is dumb. Right?
But they didn't rape her. Remember, she allowed these dumb dudes to lay on top of her. She allowed them. She allowed that.
Oh my God.
And kept going. So one of these dumb guys, then finessed her multiple times, because one of these 4 guys then had multiple kids by her, because she said 12 and how many baby daddies? 4? 8. Sorry, 12 and 8. 8 baby. So that means you slept with 8 men 20 times each, 30 times each, because you didn't get pregnant just 8 times, right? So just all that unprotected sex with dudes that are telling you what you want to hear, and you goofy enough to listen to it.
Ain't no way. As a dude, ain't no way I would lay up. I don't care how legendary that coochie is.
Absolutely.
I ain't laying up in nothing. They got that. You letting all these dudes busting you, all of them. If anything, I'm worried about an STD.
Amen.
I'm worried about, man, my whole pickle and tomato just falling off on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Both my tomatoes and my pickle just fall off. I'm walking one day and they just roll out my pants leg. I'm afraid, man.
I'm worried about STD.
I'm terrified.
And ATM. When you
this shit, I gotta play this. I gotta hear this dumb shit. This is some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. This dumb, man.
All right. You have family in the area?
Hell nah, they all abandoned me after the 8th one came out.
Oh my God.
Therapy, counseling, prayer. Times 3. Times 30.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? What is
I know. I probably know some people that would have abandoned their daughters or granddaughters after 8 kids because you ain't for keep them.
Man, they should have put their foot in her ass. They should have.
Yeah.
They should have sold her a coochie up. That's what they should have did.
Because what?
They should have got some yarn from Hobby Lobby and just got a big old needle and then stitched that motherfucker up, man. You know what I'm saying? And then came back to stitches the other way. They should have, matter of fact, they should have layered 3 stitches over to make sure nobody busting that.
Absolutely.
And then put a metal plate and some bolts down there. You know what I'm saying? Well, how am I pee? Well, you know what? Hopefully you just spit enough times and you get rid of the fluids in your body. Bitch, you don't know. Matter of fact, they should have left a little, just a hole, just big enough for water to just pour up out of there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing big enough for even a baby penis to come out of.
What?
Man, I don't get it.
What grandmama wants to watch 12 damn kids? I don't care how good she is. And then 2, me and listen. Thank you. He's on 12. And then me and listen to this man. 2 things you need to worry about when you get with a woman: STD and ATM. Always remember those 3 acronyms: STD and ATM, because that's what it's gonna cost you dealing with them type of women. And last but not least, when we was talking about children animosity, siblings, the older kids will not have a life because if she can't find a man, they gotta help her raise the kids. They ain't going to the prom, they ain't getting jobs, they can't play PlayStation.
As the oldest brother of 4 siblings, I can tell you that is true. I was forced to grow up way faster. You're not being the older sibling.
Absolutely.
Of 5 boys. I can't imagine being the older sibling or even the first 3 of 12.
Yes.
Man, I would have just been laid. I'd have laid everybody down and just went across with my pimp hand, smacked everybody. Sit your ass down, and then came back the other way. Sit your ass down. Yeah. They would have got slapped. I'd have just went like this. Slapped everybody at one time.
The oldest son.
That's a lot more.
Yeah, the oldest son is now the husband.
Damn, that's nuts.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even know how people could grow up in households and situations like that and want to have kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to have kids.
That ain't siblings. You damn right I wouldn't. I would be in a cabin somewhere in the forest with no women around because I with my Megan 3000 because you're absolutely right. I wouldn't want to see a baby bear, a baby giraffe. I wouldn't want to see.
You're right. I would have got that April 3000. Shit. You know, she moved like this. I would have folded that hoe up, put her up under the bed when I was done, and went on about my day. I wouldn't want no kids either.
Man, that's, oh my God.
That's thick, man.
Man.
Now, we've heard a lot. There's a lot of females on here with multiple. I'm talking about, man, shoot, forget trying to have a basketball team. They baby daddies. They got a team, a basketball team with the baby daddy.
The minimum was 4. The lowest we heard was 4. So from 4 to 12, 4 to 12. 4 times 3 equals 12. So,
and that's a lot.
She's talking about 3 times the amount of the average women that we listen to.
We need to, man. We need to find. I need to find her and hook her up with some of these dudes that be, man, you know, giving women the benefit of the doubt. That's like this. You know what? Go ahead and get with him. You know what I'm saying? Add him to the list. Cause ain't no way. You hear me?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Hey, y'all. Go ahead. What was you gonna say, Scott?
No, I'm just with you all the way on that situation. That is just crazy. That's ornery. That's trifling. That is just, I don't know. It's to me again psychological, man. It's just psychological. Yeah. I just don't get it. And like she said, you pushed out no C-section. She's pushed out 12, and a couple of them were multiple. She said 3, so she had twins and triplets in between those 12. So her cervix is just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna just stay at 10 centimeters because ain't no need for me to shrink it back, right? If you had 12 kids, why would your vagina shrink back? It might as well just stay at 10 centimeters to get ready for the next ones that are coming out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's crazy as hell.
That scared me. That shit scared me. Hell, I heard that shit. If I was hard, I hear something like that, and my shit go.
Absolutely, and she's a stay-at-home mom.
Shit out of me.
So she's a stay-at-home mom and ain't getting no support. What is she doing? Selling drugs? How's she taking care of the kids? She selling drugs?
Welfare, food stamps.
Damn, what state is she in? Because in the state of Tennessee, after 3 kids, they don't give a shit if you at 12. They're only gonna give you enough for 3. I just want y'all to know that if y'all live in the state of Tennessee, they will give you up to 3 kids on your application, and after that, you just on your own with the rest of them. You better stretch that shit out. So when you see these videos where these people are like, I got $3,000, $4,000, 8 kids, they're not in Tennessee. They're in these blue states that will do that. So if you go to a blue state, you can't have 12 kids and get $15,000 in food stamps, but not in this red state, Tennessee. You're not doing that. So I just want y'all to know that.
Y'all, we gonna jump into our last one. We're gonna talk about. Actually, I want to go to some music right quick. Give us a break because we've been on here, and then we're gonna talk about Marvin Sapp. We're gonna play that whole clip, and then we're gonna jump into it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just sit tight. Think about, I want to play this. You and me. Nitty the Hit.
Gave me life in another form. Sexing you be like crazy, like a part of a poem. Born to lead a leader, hugging her when I greet her. How does it feel to have a man and know just how to treat you? Make you feel good, don't it? Wanna get out and float it. I know your nerves be getting bad, cause I be getting on it. That's why whatever you want, I go get it, no matter the cost. Your friends be dropping us off, but I'm playing them off. They don't mean nothing, they just be running their mouth. They just mad, cause they live in the bricks and I live in the house. And we hustle hard for that, and we ain't going back. They just don't know what I went through to try to get where I'm at. You think back to that shack and that old ass lack where you stay hit the block every day trying to get off that pack. When I was poor, broke, ass out, didn't wanna go home. You was the only one that had strength to keep me strong. That's why it's you and me, you and me, you and me. Out of the game, you're out of the game, yeah. You and me, out of the game, in and out of the game, yeah. See forever, my lady. You and me and you, what the deal? Between both of us, you know we sure to make a meal. Can you feel what I'm saying? And I don't fall on my knees to pray. Things go right, I just might reminisce about the first time I seen you and the first time we kissed. Shit, we used to go half up on the sack, half up on the yak, half up at the tank, half up at the bank. We used to hit licks together, flip together. Shit, we went from chips to cheddar. Who better? Trying to be a foundation for us to build, from the bottom to the hills, from the ocean to the fields. Ain't you real? That's why I feel the way I feel. The sign sealed, delivered sincerely, we will. I can hold back love, I can go back love, I can go back love. You and me, you and me, you're out of the game, you're out of the game. The truth, everything that I'm trying to do, you trying to do it too. It's hard to tell you, but I cheated with some rats on the road while you was giving me everything. I was treating you cold. Man, it's been hell and hot water and back with my cat, from short stacks to fat, from pintos to lax. I'm back, and how the hell I make it this far? You may not like the deal, but you love me now. No more clouds or rainy days, just sunshines in your smile. Meanwhile, we've been focusing on building a new house, on a new route for more clouds, steady repping the new south. Ain't no doubt them gold diggers hate to see what you bout, because it's you and me, you and me. In and out of the game, girl, it's just you and me and you and me. In and out of the game, girl, you and me. I can go back love, I can go back love, I can go back love. No, baby. You and
this because I ain't got too long before I gotta go and get my youngest. Marvin Sapp, man, he made the waves this week. He got a lot of people talking. So let's go ahead and play this video of what he actually said, and let's go ahead and dive into this.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to get this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to get this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, tangibly, on the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all now come. People need to give $20. 1,000 need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. And they understand the cost.
All right. So he was under fire for doing that. All right. Now, I would say this, and this is bad. People, they be really mixing up. Lock the doors and shut the doors. Two totally different things. Right? Now, I understand why people are upset at the tone and stuff. You know, because me personally, if I ain't got $20, sir, you ain't getting $20. You know, if it's my last $20 and I need that $20 to make it to work for the week, guess what, sir? I don't care how many times you tell them ushers to close that damn door. You ain't getting that $20. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if it was up to me and they forced me up there, I would have walked up there, took his little Rolex watch off his arm and put it in the damn basket. And then they go about 20. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't just going to get no 20 out of me because you asked for it. You know? And so people are upset at his tone, the way he used it. But I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't think he, was too aggressive. But simply put, I know me. If I didn't have the money for it, guess what? I just wasn't going to donate.
Well, I mean, the part of locking the door, shutting the door wasn't my thing. First of all, I always hate mega churches. I remember my brother asked me one time, why do pastors need to get paid? And first I was on the fence about it. But even if a pastor works another job, I was always taught you still compensate people for their time. So whether your pastor's a full-time pastor or he works a normal job and he's okay, give him a salary. That is absolutely fine. But when it used to be a show on US VH1, do you remember that Pastors? It's called something Pastors. And one of the pastors used to be married to Grace Jones. Do you remember that show on VH1? These were $1 million pastors. I mean, they had Ferraris, Lamborghinis, big old houses. Do you remember that show on VH1?
I never really
okay, you don't remember that? Okay.
Man. Other than Beavis and Butthead, I didn't really watch VH1 like that.
So I just don't believe in mega churches and mega pastors. I don't believe that, you supposed to interpret the word of God and give it to me as a C student. I get that. But all the prophets in the Bible, and even Jesus, was not rich. He technically broke or destitute, right? Yeah. How are you richer than the man who died 2,000 years ago on the cross? I don't get that. And two, I was at a church one time. I won't say the name of the church because my sister took me there. And he had the cameras on him. And this was one of these churches in Nashville, y'all know what I'm talking about, that actions on actual TV station, not streaming.
I wonder if it's Cornerstone.
I don't want to.
I know you ain't want to put it out there, but I'm sorry.
For somebody like me who produces TV, I knew what he was doing because there's certain ways you do things to produce TV.
Right.
And he told his congregation, he said, "This is sad. This is all that y'all are giving This is it. As much as we do, this is an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed of all of y'all because the offering was short this month. And I mean, he was chastising his whole, it was like 500-600 people in here because he had the balconies and everything. Like their children, because it was low. I don't know. I thought you were supposed to give from the heart. I thought you were supposed to give what you can. First of all, tithing never makes sense to me. I don't believe in it. If God, and for y'all who believe in God, if God is the Almighty, why would I only give him 1/10 of my money, but I'm giving the people on my mortgage $1,000 a month. I'm paying $1,000 a month car note. I'm paying $200 on my electric bill. They're more important than Jesus and God because he's only getting 1/10. That makes no sense whatsoever. So the whole thing of collecting, tithing, all that stuff, I don't care for none of it. But the cherry on top is when you have an arrogant pastor telling folks that if you don't do this, either A, maybe you can't leave, maybe, or you is less important than the ones who did give. And that's the problem I have.
Yeah, I just would have been out. I think that's what turns people off.
Never came back.
That's what turns people off from not wanting to go to church. It just turns people off. You know what I'm saying? And then most of these churches, I think they do more harm to neighborhoods than they do good for them. You know, they convince them to take a vaccination. Now, when these people, they start getting sick and whatnot, no.
Yeah. Because the church, I don't know if if you ever joined the church, but if you fell on hard times, you're supposed to go to the church and they would help you with the electric bill, help you with medical bills. Like you said, they force these people to take these vaccines and get sick, and then the medical bill comes. How can they pay medical bills and give you tithing every Sunday?
Yeah, and then they got too far into politics, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just don't do anything for the community. How many times do we see them out in the community, you know, on a Saturday coming in, right? Well, let's see how we can help clean up this community. Let's see, we can just go ahead and take some of this money from these tithes and paint some houses that need painting. Or pressure wash some, you know what I'm saying? Like they can do something in neighborhoods to make the neighborhood better. Do you ever see that?
Right.
I don't see them out.
It was supposed to be a separation. It was supposed to be a separation between church and state. Yeah. That has never happened. I don't care what anybody says. It's all political because most churches are what you call it? Not a Schedule C, but it's a 501c, which means they're non-for-profit. Right. Which means that they can get grants and stuff from the state government and the federal government, and then still get tithing from your people, from the congregation, the people sitting in the pews. That makes no sense, and they don't do nothing with this money for the neighborhood. When I was growing up, vacation to be free, right? And at the end of Vacation Bible School, which was in the summer, we were going on the trip. Now you got to pay for that. Do you know that? Now they want the parents to, it's like $25 or something, so your child could go on the trip and eat and go wherever the hell they gonna go at the end of Vacation Bible School. Because it was only for like 2 weeks, and then at the end of 2 weeks, if you came every day, you was eligible to go on the trip. It was free in the 80s and early 90s. Well, the 80s, put it like that. Now it ain't that no more. I'm thinking, how is it not free with all the money that you get it? Because if you a non-for-profit, they're not charging you mortgage and rent for this building, and you getting grant money from the government to pay for your electric, your water, because you're non-for-profit. And you turn around getting a salary from the congregation. I'm not knocking all churches, Damo, but you see some of these mega churches, they look ridiculous. They are pimping religion.
They are pimps too.
Yes.
They are pimps too.
And it's cute because in the 70s, that was true. That was really pimps in the pool pit in the 70s. I don't know if they ever left. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they ever left.
If you're walking around with a rollie, you know what I'm saying, and you a pastor, and man, you can't go and get a Dollar Tree watch. Why would you be wanting to rock a rollie in front of your congregation? Most of them are having a hard time putting food on the table. And you telling them to pray to God for some shit that if they don't make the move and do, ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, pray to God you get that bill paid. No, you better take your ass to work. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the prayer only gonna go so long.
That's it.
Bro, they be feeding these, man, they just false prophets, dude. A lot of these cats false prophets.
Yes, they are.
And some of the stuff they got for it, they ain't put no labor in for it.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's I don't want to say biblical slavery, but if you think about it, the people that own the church, like the families, their families will take over the church, and the congregation that went to the church, their families will continue to go to the church, right? Because that's what really slavery was about. I was telling my wife, the slavery is about systems, and you never will put slavery and nepotism in the same sentence. But if you think about it, these white people have kids. The slaves have kids, they own them, and it's just generationally going down. Because of your family, you own the plantation, and because of your family, you work in the plantation. Same thing with the church. If my family owns the church, it's going to get passed down to me. And everybody who was in the congregation that's having kids and grandkids, guess what church they're going to go to? Mine. Yep. So it's all the same mentally.
Yep. You're right, man. I mean, you're right. And that's unfortunate.
It is because people need hope in this world, man. They really do. A lot of folks are committing suicide left and right because they have no hope. And the last hope that most people had is the church. And you take that away from them, crime is going to shoot up, and people are going to commit suicide like crazy, man. Because first of all, they didn't want to be on this earth anyway. And then they have no hope of surviving. Then what the hell are they here for? So, it's crazy.
Man, for all my people that's watching, man, when this show is over, y'all can share it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Bigo. Well, not Bigo so much, because once the live is over, it's over. But I want to take this time to thank y'all for even tuning in today, man. We appreciate y'all, especially my people that interacted. I know Faith and Naj, I know I seen them today. Usually Shay, but I haven't got to see her today, but I'm quite sure she probably listening somewhere. Everybody else, man, I know Malfunction. Huh?
And Ronnie didn't, I don't know if she watched it, just didn't comment Ronnie. So shout out to her, usually comments.
Yep, and so, but we appreciate you guys being here. And if y'all are on one of the main sites, like Facebook, YouTube, y'all can go ahead and catch the recap and share it. We appreciate that. Sky, you want to go ahead? What do you got going on this evening?
Don't forget, y'all, tonight, all new music, all 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Why it took me so damn long? Songs are all brand new music. All new music tonight, brought to you by Top Rope Wrestling tonight, 7 p.m. from 9 p.m. Replay from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. The station is on right now, so you can turn on the station and listen to previous music, as long as you want to listen to it. But tonight, nothing but brand new music from song 1 all the way to whatever, how many damn songs it is, whatever.
Cool, man. And I just wanted to leave y'all with this. I always say this. The only thing guaranteed in life is death. So if you woke up on this half of the dirt and you go to sleep at the end of the day on this half of the dirt, you claim victory over the day. Because tomorrow is not promised.
It is not.
So, hey, man, thank everybody for tuning in.
Can't wait till next Tuesday.
Man, I can't wait to Saturday, man. I'm up, brother. I'm up. Man, it's going to rain. I already know what's going to happen, man. It's
all the time, hey.
Rain.
When it's nice and sunny, you at work, but the days you're off is doom and gloom. I got you.
Yep. Yeah, I know that's what's coming, but I'm just going to be happy to be off anyway, man.
Absolutely.
So, hey, thank y'all for tuning in.
Enjoy your weekend, dude.
Say that again, Sky.
Enjoy your weekend.
Man, you too, brother, man. Hopefully, I get to come down in Lebanon, man. I need to call you at the end of the week. I see how I feel when I get off Friday. Actually, I'll call you Saturday morning.
Okay, that's cool.
All right. Hey, y'all, peace. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week.